Hello and welcome. On behalf of Sky Pilot Theater, welcome to Volume 2 in our series of plays in support of Black Lives Matter. My name is Arden Haywood Smalls. I'm your host today, and I hope that we're going to fill you with educational, informational, and inspirational theater today. We're going to look at 3 plays discussing issues germane to the movement. So, are you ready for some theater? Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah! Ha! I get excited. The first play we're going to look at today is called The Ethel Party, and it's written by Lolly Ward. Let me tell you a little bit about the playwright. She grew up in Washington, D.C. Her father was a photojournalist and a member of the White House press corps. He photographed President Lyndon Johnson signing the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Now, she wanted to bring to life the world of the African-American White House correspondents as they faced overwhelming racism while doing their jobs. Now, she hopes that we can look back at the movement then and the movement now and see how far we've come, and also how much more work we have to do. We present to you The Ethel Party. The Ethel Party by Lolly Ward. Ethel Payne was born in Chicago in 1911 and worked for the African-American newspaper, the Chicago Defender, in her hometown, and as their Washington, D.C. correspondent from 1951 to 1978. After securing her White House press credentials, she traveled across the United States and around the world, filing a range of stories from civil rights activism in the American South to African independence to the Vietnam War. Note, The Ethel Party is fiction, a pure imagination of what might have occurred one spring evening, March 1958. Ethel Payne's apartment, newly rented and mostly empty.
Stand back, I'm coming.
Ethel rushes in with a lamp.
Ready or not, here I come.
She plugs in the lamp, looks around the bare room.
I am not ready.
Simon runs in with a chair.
Good grief, Ethel, you only have one chair?
You said you wanted to boogie. The floor is wide open.
I also might want to sit.
You might want to sit?
He, all right, he might want to sit.
He?
He and she, they.
That's better. She is a person too. Respect.
It's hardly a time to argue over who's going to sit.
Well, I think this is precisely the time to argue over it. I only have one chair.
What a catastrophe.
Well, you did this. Invite them, you said.
I never thought they'd come.
They'll never come, you said.
You did not think they'd come.
I invited them over.
You did not think they'd come.
A party at my place?
You swore they would not come.
Well, I'm definitely swearing about it now, you thick-headed party killer.
A knock on the door.
Oh, that'll be Minerva.
It's Minerva.
Who?
It's Minerva.
Oh, let her in already.
What's your Secret Service name?
Journalist from hell, what's yours?
The Press Corps.
Oh, let her in before the neighbors call the cops. I haven't met everybody yet. That's all we need is to be shut down before we get going.
Simon opens the door. Minerva holds a large tray of food.
Hello, troublemakers. I have the snacks. Careful, Simon. I'll throw them at you and no one else will get any.
What did I do?
Invited them to our party, that's what. I was gonna do a little bopping and then a little boozing, and now look at me. I'm as wilted as a summer lily.
You look good enough to sniff and eat.
Oh, stop your nonsense and put that down.
Minerva surveys the mostly empty room.
Where?
Well, on the, good Lord, Minerva, I don't know, use your imagination.
I already used my imagination all the way to the store where I spent my entire meager paycheck, and then all the way over here lugging this tray, and then I used my very best imagination dumping this tray over Simon's head.
Wait just a minute.
Invite them, you said.
Nobody thought they'd come.
They'll never come, you said.
You did not think they'd come.
If Ethel invited them over?
You did not think they'd come.
A party at Ethel's place.
Ethel swore they would not come.
I swore they would. How'd you put it in the invite, Ethel?
I wrote, as March 1st approaches, we correspondents are nostalgic for last year's unforgettable journey across Africa. Would the vice president and his wife like to join the anniversary party?
And his office called back?
They called. The vice president and his wife accept with pleasure the kind invitation to bop and booze the 35 of America's greatest reporters.
No, they didn't.
She's playing with you.
But they did say the vice president and his wife accept with pleasure, blah, 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 da.
Richard Nixon knows too much to ignore us. The black press is going to stir up the vote.
Ooh, sister, yes.
And you know Pat is dying to be first lady and fancy at that White House. I can hear them now. Those Negro writers are inviting us over.
Oh no, it sounds more like, Pat, honey, those Negro writers are inviting us over.
Who?
Those writers, those 2 or 3 Negro ones.
The ones Eisenhower never calls on at the press conferences?
That's right.
I like them. I'd like to drink and dance with them.
No, Ike is still going to ignore them at press conferences.
Of course, that's all right. We'll have a smoke and get smashed, and then all of their friends will vote for you for president.
All right, patty cake, let's go.
Nixon in 1960.
Me and 60, huzzah.
Huzzah! And that's how it happened.
I think they like my company.
I think they like to win elections.
In Africa, Dick was very friendly to me.
Sure, Tricky Dicky was all smiles far away in Africa.
Can we open a bottle now?
Not until the furniture arrives.
I saw a couch in the foyer.
Minerva?
What? I was telling the band where to set up and carrying a heavy tray. I have to do everything?
Allow me.
Simon opens the door.
Oh yes, there's wayward furniture out here. Come in, little furniture. Welcome to your new home. It's a Negro domicile. I do hope you're not prejudiced.
He begins pushing a small couch into the living room.
Well, looky, they trusted you with that fine thing.
I can't believe it myself.
Ethel, you can be very persuasive.
I absolutely panicked. Look at this place. It's ready for a barn raising, not a political party. I marched myself right over to Heck's department store and sang my sad song.
They actually listened?
Simon pushes in an armchair.
See for yourself. I found the manager and said, I've got a problem. I said, the vice president is coming over for a party and I don't have any furniture and I certainly don't have any money. Well, he looked me up and down and I guess he trusted me.
You know who you were?
Well, I told him. You better believe I told him.
It's because you're a woman.
I sure hope it is. I mean, so many times I can't even get into a press room. If my sex helped me get some furniture from the head company, then glory be, it's about time it was good for something. And I showed my White House press badge and he started tagging things to send over. What else is out there?
This little table, it can hold about 1 drink.
I'll take it.
What's this box? Dishes?
Well, we can't eat off the tray.
We were going to before the Nixons came barging in.
Invited.
As a joke.
Well, the joke is most certainly on us because I now owe hundreds of dollars to the hacks and the Fair Pay Act is doing diddly squat to help me out.
Dare you to mention that tonight.
Honey, you never know.
Tonight is about Africa. How charming and awful was our trip to Africa.
Nixon went halfway around the world for Ghana, but he doesn't care a whit about his own backyard, shaking hands with every black in Africa, but won't touch a dirty old hand down in segregation South. Why are we gold there and dirt here?
Well, at least he's trying. Unlike those Southern Dixiecrats, up to no good, or the Northern Democrats, who promise and pledge and never do a damn thing.
Jack Kennedy says.
Kennedy this and Kennedy that. What has he done? I mean, really done for black folks?
Nothing.
Less than nothing. Barely raised a finger.
Yet, I think he's good for it.
He's easy on the eyes, that's something.
You're easy on the eyes too, dear.
You two, look, the minute you land on a worthwhile topic, like it's joke around time and out the window.
This is a party, is it not?
Will be once the guests arrive. The Nixons might arrive early. God help us. They have another event later tonight.
What are you gonna do with them, Ethel?
Me? I'm gonna get some answers to some tough questions.
You won't either.
You try me. I have corsages in the kitchen, carnations for us and the white orchid for Mrs. Nixon. I'm going to pin the flower on her chest and give the VP his little leather gift diary, butter them up and start drilling away. I'll have the best story to file with the Chicago Defender tomorrow, or I am one worthless correspondent.
You think he knows he's the morning news?
He's counting on it. Coming into a den of writers might as well be a snake pit. Are you going to have your notebook out while he's here? Or are you going to trust your memory?
Or make it up, right, Ethel?
I know you're not accusing me of making up quotes.
No, like the white press. They'll come over here and say, nothing to report, because they don't want to admit what's happening. First time in history that a vice president is going to a party at a Negro's home in Washington, and will they say one thing? Not on your life. Because if they put it in print, they admit it happened. And their bosses don't want to do that.
Yeah, like in Ghana, how a bunch of press corps had engine trouble and got there late.
There was Nixon, all gussied up as a reporter, joking around, pretending to meet their plane.
Welcome to Africa. Anything to say, fellas?
And then the other plane, the really...
Oh, my. Do not bring that up tonight.
Martin Luther King can get ignored in America. He didn't need to travel to Africa to be snubbed.
Truth.
I mean, must have been 24 Negro leaders on that plane, everybody important. They threw open those doors to see who was there to greet them.
Nobody.
Not a soul.
Silence.
But Nixon couldn't ignore King for the whole trip.
Nobody can ignore King for long.
Can you imagine if that plane had crashed? I mean, the entire Negro leadership would have been gone just like that.
They're not going anywhere.
They better not.
We're not going anywhere.
What are we going to do with the Nixons?
We should play around with them. We should, we should play a game tonight.
A drinking game.
Simon, get real.
Truly.
I'm game.
It's called segregation.
Hardy har.
And
Simon,
it's a real gas.
I believe you started drinking without me.
Each person gets to choose the segregation rule. Eye color, types of shoes, hairstyle, not race. That's too easy. You get to make it up.
Simon, you are clean out of your head right now.
People who are good dancers, people who aren't, pointy toes, flat tongues, doesn't matter. The point is to segregate.
Been under stress. We've all had deadlines.
I think he has a point.
Minerva.
It might be fun.
See?
We could make it into a drinking game. Anytime we segregate and there's more on one side than the other, the losers have to drink.
And for a tie?
Everybody drinks.
You always know just what to do, Minerva.
It's a gift.
I do not have time for games. There is food to be made.
Anyone wearing colored shoes, segregate.
Even shoes have to be called colored?
Yes, Marty. You two with the boring dark ones stay over there, and me and my fleshy ones are over here. I segregated myself.
I told the rest of the press folks 7 o'clock, but the Nixons, we just don't know.
Anyone wearing a wig, segregate.
Simon!
Try it.
Well, I don't see anyone moving.
You ought to be.
Minerva!
If you can't trust your friends, who can you trust?
Minerva Winters, I told you that in confidence.
As if I don't know a wig when I see one.
Some friends you are.
Segregate.
Whatever do you mean?
Go stand over there by yourself.
Well, you're staying with me, Minerva.
Oh, no, I'm not.
You wear wigs.
But not tonight. I use the sterno and the hot comb tonight. So there.
This is stupid.
Lots of games are stupid.
It's an experiment. Take the teeth out of segregation, Shows everybody how silly it is. I played it with my nieces and nephews, and we had a ball.
Sure, because they're kids.
Ethel, go already.
Ethel goes to stand by herself across the room.
Fine. It's my turn then?
And B.
Anyone who has made up a source for a story, segregate.
Ethel crosses away while both Minerva and Simon walk into the segregation zone.
What?
Oh, please.
What was yours?
Little boy about his mother losing her job. Yours.
A woman getting pinched on the ass at work?
You heathens.
Someone pinched me at the White House. I just had to make up someone else to say it.
Well, I never thought you would sink so low.
You never knew a lot of things.
Ooh, ladies.
Don't you start on that, Simon.
Don't you start on him, Ethel.
And since when does he need you to fight his battles?
Since you started going after him and after me, holier than thou.
Oh, your turn, Minerva.
It sure is. Anyone who is a virgin.
Come on. It has to be plausible.
I know. Anyone in this room who is a virgin, segregate.
I'm not playing.
You have to.
I quit.
You can't quit segregation. It finds you. It follows you.
The vice president is coming and you two are playing silly games.
You think segregation is silly.
Stop it. You know what I mean.
I thought we might learn a little something, and I, for one, have.
You bet you have.
Get her out of my apartment.
Minerva, be a love, and can you check on the band, would you?
Oh, thank you, Simon. I'd be delighted.
Minerva goes out to the foyer.
We're all a little on edge.
Ethel doesn't answer. She begins unpacking the box of dishes.
With so much at stake.
Ethel doesn't say anything. Simon kneels to help her with the dishes.
We've all traveled together, but that doesn't mean we know everything about each other.
Ethel unpacks.
There's still a lot to explore. For instance, if you are, indeed.
She unpacks.
Are you?
Get away from me, Simon.
I see.
I'm busy.
I can help.
I don't need any more of your help.
Everybody needs a little help.
You and Minerva just,
We were just playing.
but you and she have,
Oh, yes.
that's more than playing.
Well, that's what it was, truly.
Well,
Excuse me for saying, but I could,
what are you saying?
after the party,
Yes.
I could stay.
Here?
Lordy, Ethel, you don't know how to play at all?
Why?
Because you said.
No, I know what I said. I want to know what you're saying. Why would you stay?
To entertain each other.
I see. You think I need entertaining.
I think you need something.
And you got that? What I need?
Look, you said yourself it's hard to meet someone.
Damn straight, but I already know you.
Sort of.
Sort of. I shared a cab, a press box, a waiting area, a plane to and from Ghana. What's more to know?
Something biblical,
Well, that makes it sound awfully righteous.
doesn't it?
And then?
And then I don't know what.
Your intentions.
I don't know yet.
That's what I thought.
You might try to
What? What?
softening up a bit.
Oh, I might. I might try that? No. Sir, I might not.
Man, Ethel.
No, it's not enough that I have to play segregation with them. I gotta play it with you and your you do anything lady friend.
That's enough. I was just trying to help.
Oh, I know what you were trying to do. Have a party and then keep on partying at my expense. But I refuse.
No. Now, that's not what I meant.
The band starts warming up in the foyer with a popular tune.
It's time to start.
No hard feelings?
None whatsoever. Simon,
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I'm not gonna slow down for you or anybody.
I know that.
I'm going to go everywhere I please and have a window on the world. I will write and do what I want.
It's going to be lonely.
It might be. I'll let you know.
Minerva runs in from the hall.
They're here.
Simon and Ethel don't move.
Are you listening? The vice president and his wife are at the door. There's a bunch of reporters right behind them.
Off we go. Game faces, everyone.
The band switches to a patriotic song.
Ready or not. Here I come.
Ethel heads to the hall door.
Good evening, Mr. Vice President. Mrs. Nixon, so nice of you to join us. Please do come in.
The band plays on. Party in, lights out. Wow, that was fantastic. Great job to the actors and the director, the writer. Really appreciate that piece. Way Home was written by Leah Halper. Now she says this is an imagined scenario between Fannie Lou Hamer and her husband one night in 1962 after she decided she was not going to be exiled from her hometown anymore. This woman wanted to vote. They didn't want Black people to vote. She says, I am tired of it. I'm going to do it. She didn't care. Two things inspired the playwright. She said, one, Fannie Lou Hamer's incredible bravery. And two, the fact that young people know nothing about her. Absolutely nothing. Now, I'm sure you've heard that theater can be educational. This is one of those moments. She hopes that seeing this play will inspire you to do the right thing, even when, especially when there might be personal risks. We present to you Way Home. Way Home by Leah Halper. Late 1962, in a small house in Ruleville, Mississippi. A spare, bare home interior. An old suitcase on the floor. Pap sits watching Fannie Lou as she speaks to unseen departing guests.
Drive safe, Joe. Take care of yourself. Etta, we'll be in touch real soon. Good night, Jamie. Lee, watch your step. Bye-bye now.
She closes the door. She sighs, busies herself tidying up.
Well, that was a good old welcome, Pap. A good old welcome home. Never even got time to unpack.
She hauls the suitcase up and unsnaps it.
Real good welcome. Real good.
She takes something out.
Miss Adams keeps her place nice. Homey, don't you think? I like this house better than the old one. Don't you? Nice big window. Pine floors clean up real nice, tidy. We gonna pay rent, Pap.
How are we gonna pay rent? In bullets?
We're not taking charity. Hardly had a chance to say hello to you with the folks here at all. Sure was missing you, Pap.
She kisses his cheek.
So good having you in reach.
Why'd you come back?
We finally got a room to ourselves. After 18 years of marriage without privacy, that was existing, Pap. That wasn't living.
I told you to stay put till I could fetch
With the girls missing you so much, asking for you every day.
you. You want to get us killed?
She returns to sorting suitcase.
Missing me? That's not why you came back, and you know it.
You with my husband and my folks? Sure it was.
Husband? What kind of husband can't even buy you a chicken gizzard?
That game meat is real tasty.
Can't get a job in 4 counties? I thought we had an understanding. Fannie Lou, I thought we had an understanding about this voting stuff.
We did.
You were staying put till all this blew over. You've done all you can do here. You were staying there, and I was gonna finish out the harvest and join you.
You finished it all right. You gonna defend him after all he done to put us asunder?
I ain't defending no one, Fannie Lou.
After you worked yourself to the bone for that man? After I baked him cakes to send him off to war? Cleaned his toilets, cleaned his dog's toilets, which was nicer than the outhouse we got. Wiped his kids' bottom, wiped their diapers. After he took the car and the furniture we was almost paid up on. Run me off like I was a rat or a skunk. Then used you up, fired you after 20 years. You better not offend him, Pap. You better think twice.
She snaps the suitcase closed, bangs it on the floor.
Hush. You'll wake the girls.
He moves closer.
I'm not defending him. I missed you too. Don't you know that? But coming back here is foolish. The girls gotta walk to school every day. There's no work for you or me. There never will be ever again. I was fixing to go over to where you were in Tallahatchie County. Why'd you come back?
I was thinking it was my duty as a Christian.
To leave me a widow, man? To leave me with the girls with nobody to raise them up? You need to get out of here, Fannie Lou, and don't come back ever. I'll fetch you where you be.
My grandparents were slaves in this county, and my parents were sharecroppers. My folks made the white man rich. This is my place too. Nobody's gonna run me off from my home, my town. I got a right to live here, not be moving around like a fugitive, like a criminal. And I got a right to vote. Try improving things for folks around here. The white man hasn't done a thing for us. Leaving people hungry, leaving people naked. The Bible says God loves all his children equally. This ain't slave time, is it?
You crazy? The minute they hear you back, they be out there with their rifles and it's not rabbit they want to shoot.
I'm not staying away from my home because some liquored up white men's talking big in the saloon.
You are the damnedest woman I've ever saw.
I am.
She takes a clock from the unloaded pile of stuff and begins tinkering with it.
You wasn't always. It was the hospital that changed you. You've been mad ever since.
What are you talking about?
You was past the age, Fannie Lou. You got children to raise up. Praise God.
Nobody's got the right to do that without my say-so. Those butchers had no business going down there. Treat me like I was a moron or degenerate just because I was a Negro.
She fiddles with the clock.
That's it. That's when it started. Before then, you were feisty, all right, sure, but not crazy. What are you doing?
Setting the clock.
You setting the alarm, and you know it. Why are you setting the alarm?
So's I can get up early.
You always get up early, Fannie Lou. So why you need the clock all of a sudden?
Just for double sure. Getting the girls to school and all.
He picks the clock out of her hand.
No girls ever had to get up at 5 a.m. to get to school.
She takes it back from him.
I got some business need attending to.
Fannie Lou, don't tell me.
Okay, Pap, I won't tell you. I won't tell you nothing that you don't want to hear. I won't tell you that furniture belonged to us. That the car, we needed that car. That car was ours. It wasn't his. We were almost through paying on it. I won't tell you that I'm tired of this, sick and tired. I'd just as soon die as creep around like a worm under their feet, leaving town and hiding out and just.
You may die, Fannie Lou. At this rate, you asking to die. You asking to be daisy food.
Seems like they've been trying to kill me all my life. Might as well go out in glory. The movement be 5 foot 4 inches closer to freedom with me dead.
Don't talk that way. No Negro's gonna vote in Sunflower County. Not in my lifetime and not in yours.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna pass their test. Been studying since I left town. Gonna try till I get it. Or to the Justice Department, take one look at this puny, withered old self and either starts giving justice or renames itself the Injustice Department. I'm gonna try till hell freezes over.
Already. Tomorrow.
Bride's coming at 6.
Fannie Lou, wait a while. Don't provoke him the minute you come back into town.
I've been waiting 44 years, Pap. I can't wait longer.
You all should be taking turns. Be more fair. You can't do it all, Fannie Lou.
I can do my part. No drunk white men, no chicken-eating minister, no Tom teacher. Not even you, Pap. As much as I care about you, nobody's gonna stop me.
Nobody ever has.
All right then. Amen, preacher.
I just wish it was for something more than the X on a piece of paper. Don't see how it's gonna help much with folks hungry, out of work, needing shoes, needing roofs over their heads. And now you and me is bad off as the rest. Besides, you're never gonna get enough Negroes to vote to change anything as long as we're working for the white hands. Devil's calling the tombs.
His attention is diverted to something outside the window.
Maybe I'm not doing it for us. Maybe I'm doing it like my granny did. Thinking ahead to the children gonna be born after I'm gone. Maybe I'm thinking of just.
Fannie Lou, move away from the window. Go in the other room. Now.
She looks out the window. He's reaching for a shotgun.
Go on now. Let me talk to the white men. They armed.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm opening this door and asking them what they want at this hour with decent folks sleeping. And may the good Lord light their way home.
They look at each other. He readies the gun. She opens the door. Lights out.
Yes, bravo. Once again, great job to the actors, director, the writer. Yeah, that brings up some memories for me myself, but that's another story. Road Trip is written by Storina Johnson. Now she says Road Trip explores the challenges interracial couples face in a country still struggling to come to terms with its foundationally racist roots. Yeah. She combined lived experiences she had with a Black male friend while they traveled throughout the Southern United States, and she imagined the most, worst case scenarios to see if this relationship could withstand the dangerous external influences and pressures. Yes, please. We present to you Road Trip.
Road Trip by Storina Johnson. Mandy and Marcus sit at a table in a roadside diner. Both are clutching cups of coffee. They seem visibly shaken.
This was a stupid idea.
It was not a stupid idea.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Look, you were thinking it'd be fun to get away for the weekend.
They could have,
It isn't a crime.
they could have,
Well, look, they didn't.
but they could have.
We're okay.
We were in the middle of nowhere, Marcus. The way they were looking at us,
I know.
it was,
Mandy, I know.
I had this geography teacher, Mr. Wynn, who said that when he was a kid, that their nanny, she was a Black woman, would have to lay down on the back floorboard under a blanket when they passed through certain parts of Georgia on their way down to the Gulf. I remember thinking that would never happen now. I mean, he was talking about during the height of the civil rights movement, you know? I mean, I thought we've progressed as a society. Apparently we haven't. And since the election, these people have been waving their bigotry around like a flag.
There are always going to be those people, all right? People who haven't evolved. You have to keep telling yourself they're a very vocal minority.
A minority with a penchant for violence, Marcus. They could have...
Look, Mandy.
I mean, what's the worst they're going to do to me, right? I'm a white woman. Beat me, rape me, kill me. But you? My mind kept flashing all the terrible things that they could have done to you, torturous things. And it would have been my fault.
How's that?
I'm serious. If you had gotten hurt or worse, it would be on me.
Where is this coming from? How's it your fault a couple of racist pricks cornered us in some podunk gas station in Nowheresville, USA?
Because I didn't stop and think about where we were traveling to. That right now, in this political climate, a white woman and a Black man would draw attention. That us just being together puts you in danger. And in my stupid privileged world, that thought never even crossed my mind.
Well, it crossed mine. Look, I live this shit daily. I'm well aware of what it's like living as a Black man in America. And I came anyway, because I am not gonna live my life in fear. Right? Am I extra cautious sometimes? Yeah. Doubly so in places like that. But I'm not gonna apologize for being born a Black man. And I'm not gonna apologize for loving someone who happens to have been born white. Just because they haven't evolved, that doesn't mean we have to regress.
I'm not talking about regressing. I'm just talking about being cautious until these racist fucks realize that the majority of Americans don't agree with them and won't tolerate their stupidity.
How cautious are you wanting to get?
What do you mean?
When I was in college, I was dating this white chick, Wendy.
You have a type?
I had a type, right? Now I have you. So we're driving back from this club and I was the DD.
You're never the DD.
But I drew the short straw. But anyways, so we just finished dropping off the last person when I see lights. I pull over, put my hands on the dash, and Wendy starts laughing. You know, she had never seen anyone put their hands on the dashboard before. Had no idea it's basically a requirement if you're Black and get pulled over in this country. So, cop comes up to the window, sees Wendy, and asks me to step out of the car. Wendy looks at me like, what the fuck? You know, I tell her, look, it's okay. All right, both of us just need to do what he says. You know, I get out, the cop slams me onto the hood and cuffs me.
Peacocking, trying to emasculate you in front of her. What a douche canoe.
So I can see Wendy through the windshield. She's freaking out. You know, doesn't know what to do. I'm thinking, don't get hysterical, because that shit will come back on me. Cop yanks me into the back of his cruiser, then goes over to Wendy. He has her get out of the car. And I'm thinking, just stay calm. Don't poke the bear. Finally he motions for her to get back in. Comes to the cruiser and runs my info. When everything checks out, he lets me go. So on the way back to my place, she doesn't say a word. I'm talking stone cold silence. And I knew, because she wasn't prepared for the reality of it. The reality of what it's like to be an animal, you know, to be an interracial couple in America. You know, when we get to my place, I ask her what he said, and she tells me she kept asking her if she was okay. You know, is this man making you do something you don't want to do? Now, how do you know this man? And at first, she thought, oh, he thinks I'm too drunk, you know, to consent, you know, and doesn't want me to be assaulted. You know, how nice of him to check. But then the cops started in with, no, it's just suspicious when someone like you is in a car this late at night with someone like him. You know, shit like that. Little paper cuts, you know, not overt, but still enough to get his point across. And that's when it clicked for her. He didn't care about her safety. He cared that she was a white woman with a black man. And it also clicked for her that this was a situation she'd probably find herself in a lot. You know, it dawned on her that being in a relationship with a black man in America wasn't going to be easy. And I get it. You know, relationships are hard enough, you know, without the added stress of always looking over your shoulder.
Wait, no, this is not me changing my mind about us. No. It's more like I feel like what's happening to our country it's like partially my fault. Like every time I rolled my eyes at Uncle Frank's racist jokes instead of calling him out has brought us closer to our current crisis. We're now at a place where white men flip open their wallets to flash official KKK cards in order to intimidate us on what was supposed to be a relaxing weekend road trip. I mean, and seriously, how is that a thing? I mean, I'd always heard the phrase card-carrying member of the KKK, but I didn't know they had actual cards, like official membership cards. That thing was laminated, for fuck's sake.
Well, most organizations give out official cards.
Yeah, but come on, a KKK card? I mean, really?
Well, I have expected him to hand the cashier a punch card, you know, for his racist act of the day.
Who wants something like that in their wallet? That seems worse than getting in an accident while wearing dirty underwear.
Well, you seem pretty proud of it.
That's what I mean. That's nothing to be proud of, but no one has corrected his way of thinking. And I have no room to bitch because I'm one of the people who hasn't stepped up to correct the people in my own life like that. How many of his friends and family just sat back and rolled their eyes like I do with Uncle Frank instead of addressing the problem? What's the saying? Silence is compliance.
Well, now, sometimes silence is safety. Right? I wouldn't have wanted you to point out how wrong he is when we were back at the gas station. Right? That would have made a bad situation worse.
I'm not talking about in the particular moment. I'm talking about throughout his life. Surely he's done something that's stupid around his friends. One of them could have pulled him aside at some point and safely explained he was like coming at life the wrong way.
Well, he probably lives in a bubble, right? I'm sure he thinks, you know, his views are normal. You know, this isn't exactly a bustling area of the country. You know, others are seen as a real danger around these parts.
I think I'm the one living in a bubble. I mean, up until today, my major concern about our relationship was that if we have a baby, I wouldn't know how to fix her hair.
Wait, what?
I had this stupid nightmare that we had our first kid and I didn't know the right way to wash and fix her hair. I felt like an idiot because it seems so basic. Hair maintenance. Also, this should be the least of my concerns regarding bringing a kid into the world, right? But in my dream, I was terrified that I was going to emotionally scar our kid because I was brought up around only white women hair. So in my dream, I went to a black hairstylist so I could learn the right way to groom my own kid.
You could have just asked me.
Oh, you know how to fix little black girl hair?
There's always my mother.
I think my dream solution was better for both of our sanity.
Fair enough.
The point is, concerns like that, they feel so small when I stop and think of the big picture dangers that are out there for us. And I am happy to take on those dangers with you. But I just can't stop thinking as a society that we kind of brought this on ourselves by ignoring the problem.
I don't disagree. I think the best we can do is lead by example now. And maybe stick to the more upscale gas stations.
I love you. It's going to take a hell of a lot more than a card-carrying KKK member to change that.
Yeah.
Lights out.
I'm just blown away by the talent and the work that we've seen today. I hope that you were educated, inspired, and moved by some of the things that you saw today. If you were, please go to blacklivesmatter.com, donate money if you can. Every little bit can help. Donate time if you can. This movement is not over. It's not over yet. And if you're feeling really charitable, go to skypilottheater.com. We're a nonprofit organization. Any help you can give us, we'll take as well. We appreciate you stopping by today. I hope you had a great time. And until next time, this is Arden Haywood Smalls for Sky Pilot Theater. Spread love, be good to each other.